When you question playing Twitch, you may think about laning phase, and you may ask yourself, why not just play Kalista? But then you remember why you play Twitch in the first place. To be a sneaky asshole, to shred through an entire enemy team in 6 to 10 bullets, and above all else, to be a motherfucking rat.
Gotta stack the cheese, I'm actually a rodent, yeah. Rat jar in this thing, my entertainment is dirty gutters. Teammates love me, TK's lucky, I like their jersey colors. Loose fitted in the booth with it on, doing it for the fam, my furry creatures. Stay earning cheese, so I murder teams while I murder pizza. No, I ain't walking on 2 feet, crawling around in them pipes under the street. I'm staying quiet like I'm trying to keep a secret. But when we play, you won't believe the speeds I'm speaking.
It's Ethan Bradbury.
You know, I questioned for a long time not putting that in there, but in the end I was just like, you know, fuck it. I'm awful at transitions anyways. But was Twitch always a shitty Kalista, or was there ever a time when he did more than just tickling tanks? Find out on today's episode of How OP League Used to Be. Twitch has been jump scaring kids since his creation. He was one of the first, before Rengar and Nocturne were even born. In fact, he was one of the original 40 champions to ever be released, which means, welcome to the League of Legends OG Champion Spotlight featuring Twitch. Van Helsing, played by Steve Buscemi. Twitch's passive was the same. I mean, it did a little bit more damage early game, but is 3 really that much more than 2? Well, I don't know. Is Transformers 3 really that much different than Transformers 2? The answer is no. They both have an unnecessary amount of explosions, and Cody Maverick makes this face. Twitch's Q was Ambush, on steroids. You could stay stealth for 60 fucking seconds. Back when Sunfires could stack, just pop 6 of them on your ass and you burn kids for 300 damage a second while being invisible. You were literally an invisible sun. On top of that shit, when you finally de-stealth, you could be granted up to 100% attack speed based on how long you were in stealth. And that doesn't sound too bad, but you just wait. You just wait. One actual negative stat though was that Ambush had a self slow of 30 to 35%. I couldn't find whether it was on turning invisible or during stealth or even after, because whenever you search anything about Twitch, you just get shit about the website and not the champion. Moving on to Twitch's W, Debilitating Poison. This ability slowed all enemies surrounding Twitch for 20 or 30% based on which patch you're on, and the slow increased by 10 or 6% per stack of his passive, again, depending on which patch. So basically, the only requirement was to be near Twitch and you would get tagged by a slow. But let's say you just happen to get hit with a couple of autos. Well, that sucks, bitch, because now you're slowed for 80% for being near him. But for us, Sejuani's permafrost does the same thing. Yeah, but how long does her slow last for? 1.5 seconds. Twitch's slow used to last for over 5 fucking seconds. And let's not forget that you didn't even have to be hit first. It was literally free, like a 5-man spooky ghost. It was just fucking bullshit, man. Twitch's E was Expunge, which is literally just an old name for his E today, Contaminate, but if you played back when it was called Expunge, I guarantee you still call it Expunge. The base damage on this ability used to be much larger, dealing over 200 more, but it didn't have the shitty bonus AD scaling that it does today, so the late game is made up for. One major turnoff of this old ability was the fact that activating would remove all stacks of your passive from anyone affected. So using this before your W was more irritating than going to Mexico and finding a stripper, only to realize that you weren't in Mexico and there is no stripper. This is just a poll, and I'm the stripper. Yeah, that would be irritating. Finally, Twitch's ult was Spray and Pray. This ability was the same as his ult today, but the power level was like if today's ult is a mouse, and his old ult is fucking Godzilla with a rocket launcher that fires X-Wings piloted by Will Smith from Independence Day. First off, instead of giving additional AD, it used to give 140% attack speed. Remember when I told you to just wait? Yeah. Like, why buy attack speed items when your Q and ult give you more attack speed than you'll ever need? Not only that, but it used to give you a range of 1300. For reference, today's ult bumps his attack range from 550 to 850, being able to outrange turrets by 50 units. But 1300? And it gets worse. Today's ult's damage drops by 20% for each target a single shot passes through. That didn't happen back then. It used to deal 100% of its damage to everyone in a 1300 range with all the attack speed in the world, and you get to buy 6 items of damage because remember, you got that attack speed. But at least at one point it used to have a limited number of shots. I guess that helps. It doesn't. Thank you all for watching the League of Legends OG Champion Spotlight. I'm going to keep dropping this in the middle of my videos. Follow me on Twitter. So now that we've gone over all of his abilities back in the day, what could this shit do? Well, for one, AP Twitch was a lot more prevalent. Right now, Twitch's E's AP scaling depends on the amount of stacks, stacking 20% per stack of Deadly Venom up to a 1.2 scaling ratio. Back in the day, however, Twitch's E used to scale 1-to-1 regardless of the stacks, but the higher base damage still encouraged players to maximize their stacks along with a Malady, which was an attack speed AP item that had the passive which N does today, reducing magic resistance just on autos. Pair that with a Lich Bane and boom, you got AP Twitch. It was pretty troll, but it was fun. One item that a lot of champions used to enjoy playing around with a lot was Tiamat. You see, Tiamat used to deal 50% in an AoE for melee champs and 35% for ranged, but they could stack, so you could potentially be dealing more damage to the people around the person you are attacking than the person itself. Now, how does this pertain to Twitch? Okay, time for some math. 35% times 6 because 6 Tiamats equals 210%. Now with Twitch's ult, every person that a bullet would touch would produce their own Tiamat circle. Now in theory, if all 5 enemies were clumped up near some sort of minion or monster, shit would get very real. 210% times 6 for all 5 champions plus the straggling minion or monster equals 1260% damage plus the 100% that Twitch's auto itself would be dealing, all for a whopping 1360% damage. That isn't even accounting for crit or if it was a larger minion wave, and it did magic damage. This is so fucking broken. I have to tell someone. Dear Broccoli, I've been meaning to write to you for quite some time to please ask you to refrain from using your canine companion's cuteness to conjure a copious quantity of captivated constituents. But the main reason I decided to write to you today was to explain to you my frustration towards old Twitch with 6 Tiamats being able to deal upwards of 1360% of his AD or more to every single person in a team fight. BT dubs, the Tiamat damage was magic. And I was just hoping that you'd help me get my point across of how broken it was by screaming at your camera for a little bit. Thank you. Love, Frost.
Twitch with Tiamat is broken as fuck. YouTube.com/BrickyOrchidea.
Thank you, Brisket. Now for one more thing. One more nerf to Twitch. One that I feel much of the League community will agree with me when I say it was extraordinarily devastating to Twitch at his core. At a level higher than just his gameplay and stupid damage and numbers and pointless shit like that. On April 21st, 2014, Spray and Pray was ripped from our lives. It literally did nothing for the game. Beforehand, it used to say, Twitch closes his eyes and rapidly fires his crossbow. That is so fucking cool! What does Rattata do today? Fucking nothing. Fuck you, Riot. We had to deal with you taking away Greaves' cigar. We dealt with you taking away Earth. We are currently dealing with you never giving us Al Shin. But this was too far. You'll be receiving a letter from me shortly. But anyways, how OP do you think Twitch was? Let me know in a comment below. I'm trying to get better at participating in my comment sections, so let's chat it up. That's it. Toodles!